Hey everyone, welcome to your Universe Z, the place where we talk all about the Dragon Ball universe. Today we are going to go through Vegeta reaching perfect Oozaru form, and if you would like to see more Dragon Ball content, please leave your like and subscribe to join our Universe Z. One of the most overlooked modes within the Dragon Ball oeuvre was, without a doubt, the most wronged mode was the Oozaru form, a transformation that features an animal transformation power, but represents a classic scene from the anime story. It would be quite interesting to see it being presented again, but perhaps in a slightly different way than we know it. How does the transformation of the Great Ape work? In what ways can someone transform? And could Vegeta gain a slightly different form than the conventional one with Oozaru? Let's talk about that in today's video. The Great Ape is a giant, anthropomorphic, ape-like creature into which the Saiyans of Universe 7 can transform into the full moon, or a similar object, to tremendously increase their already formidable strength. Dragon Ball GT Perfect File speculates that the Saiyans were originally great apes who gained intelligence and took on a humanoid form. For the transformation to occur, the Saiyan needs to have a tail, as the glands responsible for initiating the transformation are located exclusively there. The Saiyan also needs to absorb at least 17 million Zeno units of Blutz waves through its eyes to initiate the transformation. Blutz waves are found only in sunlight reflected by a moon. If there is no moon, a planetary body will reflect the same number of rays. The easiest way to achieve this is to look at a full moon, making Saiyans similar to werewolves in that respect. If any cloud covered the moon and or a planetary body, it would block certain amounts of radiation. Vegeta once transformed by throwing Power Ball, which is a fake moon reflecting the required amount of Blutz rays in the air and then looking at it. Whis on board the Saiyans attack pods also projects a hologram of a moon that was realistic enough to allow Blutz waves to be reflected in the event of landing on a moonless planet, as evidenced by an incident in which Gohan became a great ape while training to fight the Saiyans before their invasion due to the reactivation of Goku's attack pod. In Dragon Ball Z, the Tree of Might, Tells did the same thing to cause a transformation in Gohan as a joke because he knew he was powerful enough to handle him. According to Tells in the same movie, the residual effect of the Power Ball would keep Gohan, and any other transformed Saiyan, in his great ape form for a limited period of time, even if the Power Ball was destroyed, which Tells does. One can assume that because it is so close to the planet, weather conditions do not affect the radiation output of the Power Ball. If a natural source of Blutz waves, a full moon or planet, were destroyed or the tail were amputated, this would cause the Saiyan to instantly transform back to its humanoid form. In Dragon Ball Online, a Saiyan cannot be transformed into this form if he is wearing a mask provided by Time Breakers, as it blocks the Blutz waves no matter how much time is spent looking at the moon. However, in Dragon Ball Heroes, it is shown that if the mask is broken, the Saiyan's ability to transform is also restored, as shown when Time Breaker Bardock transforms after his mask is broken. In Dragon Ball Super, Broly, Paragus warns Beats against looking at Vampa's moon and points out to Beats, who has never transformed, that the form should only be used as a last resort, indicating that experienced Saiyan warriors generally avoid transforming unless absolutely necessary, especially if they do not have full control over it. The power level of a great ape is equal to the Saiyan's power level before the transformation multiplied by 10, although in Dragon Ball Z, Kyoshu, Saiyan he multiplies it by 4. It is unclear whether the speed increases proportionally, but according to Goku, at least the Saiyan remains as fast as before the transformation. A Saiyan's tail will not grow back if they have outgrown the power of their great ape form in its basic form. The color of the great ape's fur is usually brown and the eyes are also red. A Saiyan loses the ability to reason in this form, and will usually exhibit frantic and destructive characteristics, even in the cases of protagonists. Quote Yamcha, when Goku transforms like this, he loses all sense of self. He's just a big hairy monkey with a penchant for candy to tear people's limbs off. However, they still seem to regain some sense of friend and foe deep in their subconscious, as was demonstrated when Goku managed to get the great ape Gohan to attack Vegeta and Gohan recognizing the Dragon Icarus. Turin theorized that half-Terran Saiyans who transformed retain their human minds, allowing their loved ones to reach out to them. Team Bardock was able to focus on attacking their Kanasan enemies while avoiding attacking each other, despite exhibiting the same berserker mentality as Goku and Gohan in form. Despite their lack of self-awareness, as Saiyans mature, they can be taught to control their instincts and maintain normal cognitive functions as great apes. This was exhibited by Vegeta, who unlike Goku and Gohan, received this training and was even able to speak. However, in the video games, it is implied that only super elites like Vegeta and his father or elite Saiyans like Nappa are able to keep their reason in this form, while lower-class Saiyans like Trunks and Raditz are not. Saiyans who retain their reason in this form are able to utilize their power to the fullest and, as shown by Vegeta, can even transform into their golden great ape form from their great ape form, which allows them to easily transform into Super Saiyan 4 since their ability to retain their reason is transferred to the golden great ape form. Saiyans can still manipulate their energy in this state for feats such as flying and shooting lightning, most commonly from their mouth in a manner similar to, and possibly an intentional homage to, Godzilla's atomic breath. As the transformation causes the Saiyan to grow several times their original size, Saiyans wear special armor that can stretch to fit the great ape form and shrink to fit their normal form. Goku and Gohan don't have this as they live on Earth, so the transformation rips off their clothes, meaning they return to their normal forms naked. Process of transforming back to normal seems to be very exhausting, as even Vegeta, a fully trained Saiyan and super elite, became very breathless from the experience, while Goku and Gohan always remained unconscious. With all Saiyans in Universe 7, Vegeta can transform into the colossal form of the Great Ape, while retaining his tail and absorbing enough Blood's waves. Vegeta was first seen using this form against Dragon Team when he first came to Earth. Unlike most Saiyans, Vegeta maintains his rationality and composure when he transforms and changes back. Likewise, he also retains the ability to speak and manipulate his energy for feats like flying. Once assuming this form, Vegeta's ki is fully replenished and his overall power increases tenfold over his normal form. Despite his immense increase in size and bulk, Goku noticed that he grew just as fast in this form. In direct proportion to his primordial size, his ears become equally acute, able to detect the tiniest sounds from great distances. Oozaru form has not become as well applied these days in Dragon Ball, being rather forgotten, leaving it behind when cooler Saiyan transformations with different colors and shapes were emerging. However, could there still be a chance to see these forms appearing again in the work? It would be pretty cool if Vegeta, who possesses this form, could perfect it as the Prince of Saiyans, achieving a sort of perfect form of the transformation. He could keep the powers of the common transformation, but using the common Saiyan size, which would allow him to transform and even merge some of his already awakened abilities. It would be a very nice mix of powers to see, don't you think? What could this form be like? Could we see Oozaru transformations happening again in Dragon Ball in the future? Let us know in the comments your opinion about this form. That's it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for videos, don't forget to comment here below, because I'll be reading all of them as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your Universe Z.